people have been killed and more than 150 injured in a crush at a religious festival in northern Israel. An estimated 100,000 had gathered for the Lag BaOmer celebration, the largest event to be held in Israel since the start of the pandemic. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that it had been one of the country's worst disasters and promised a thorough investigation. Our international editor, Lindsay Hilsum, has this report and a warning to viewers. It does contain some distressing scenes.
It was the first major religious gathering in Israel since the lifting of COVID restrictions. Some 100,000 ultra-Orthodox Jews were praying and dancing when suddenly it became clear that something was wrong. An urgent announcement on the sound system. Please clear the area. Get out of here. Go to the other area. Clear all access paths. Hundreds had crowded down a tunnel leading to an exit. Scenes from just before panic set in show how constricted it was. Then some slipped, others fell on top. Men tried to get out through the gaps in the corrugated iron sheets that formed the walls. Rescue workers struggled to reach the injured. It's been alleged that the police had cut off key exits. It was desperate. Most of the dead and injured were men, but children had also been crushed. Paramedics took in stretchers for those who couldn't move. Outside, some of the faithful berated the emergency workers. Ambulances arrived to ferry the injured to hospital. Those with broken bones will survive, but many died from asphyxiation or were trampled to death. This morning they were yelling at the police. Many in this community mistrust the government, so are inclined to blame the authorities, not the organisers. Some had previously refused to obey COVID restrictions.
The officers who were there couldn't care less. And when thousands of people didn't know in the back of the line what was doing, pushing and shoving happened, and the Israeli government is responsible so far for the lives of 47 beautiful, holy Jews that were killed here for no reason whatsoever, just to prove a point that they're in charge of this place instead of the Orthodox Jews being in charge over here.
Prime Minister Netanyahu arrived to give condolences. He allowed the Lag BaOmer celebration at Mount Meron to go ahead against the advice of health officials, hoping to attract the support of ultra-Orthodox parties.
The Mount Meron disaster is one of the worst disasters that has befallen the state of Israel. We mourn the victims, our hearts go out to the families, and also to the wounded. We wish for their full recovery.
Today, they rushed to bury the dead before sunset ushered in the Sabbath. The government has called for a national day of mourning on Sunday.